Welcome back to Baking with Bierma. In this week's episode, we're going to be doing a tray bake. We're going to be turning this 9 by 13 inch pan into a lovely and delicious batch of crumbly bumbly jam bars. Flour, sugar, orange, salt, butter, eggs, vanilla, jam. The tools you'll need for today are a large bowl, measuring cups, trusty fork, grater, measuring spoons, and a 9 by 13 inch pan. This could be glass, metal, any type of 9 by 13 inch pan. First we want to combine our dry ingredients. So we're going to add the flour first, and it's going to be 2.5 cups. I'm doing a 1/2 cup measuring cup, so that's going to be a lot of scoops. Next we're going to add the sugar. It's going to be 2 cups of sugar. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Again, measure this over not your bowl, in case you miss. And then we're going to need 1 teaspoon of orange zest. So if you have a grater that has multiple surfaces, your zester is going to be the smallest holes right here. So a lot of times you'll get this surface buildup here, which is still good to use, but most of what you grate, all the zest will come out on this side. And you can just use your knife, scrape that off into another little bowl so we can measure it, and repeat until you have enough. So the orange zest is going to add a little bit of citrus flavor to our bars. And also the little bit of bitterness in the peel will help balance with the sweetness in the jam and the sugar. So this recipe calls for 3/4 cups of butter. So if we remember, 1/2 cup of butter is 1 stick. So that means we're going to use 1.5 sticks. Use the unopened stick as your full stick, and the one that we use to grease our pan we'll cut. And we'll use the 1/2 that we didn't use to grease the pan. Again, we want to make sure that we're using cold butter for this. As we did in the previous episode, we're going to take this down into some smaller chunks and then cut it into our flour mixture. So before we add the butter, we want to make sure that we stir in our sugar, salt, and zest, and just give it a quick stir to get everything mixed together. Once it's pretty uniform, we can add in our chunks of butter. And again, put your thumb at the base of the fork to get good pressure, and we're just going to cut the butter in until we get a nice crumbly mixture. Feel free, like the scone dough, if you want to, you can get your fingers in there and start to mash those bigger pieces down. It's important that we have a nice uniform mixture and not large chunks of butter left, otherwise the butter will melt and you'll get holes in your bars when the large chunks of butter melt if you have large chunks left. So once you get a nice, pretty even mixture, it should look like this. You should also be able to pick it up, give it a little squeeze, and it should roughly hold its shape, but also crumble pretty easily. Next, in a small bowl or dish, we're going to combine our vanilla and our 2 eggs. And it's going to be 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Grab a fork, a new one, or your washed one, and we're going to whisk these two together. So I like to create a little reservoir for my wet ingredients to go into my dry ingredients. We're going to take our egg vanilla mixture and pour it into our dough. And then we're going to mix these two together until it starts to form a ball. Again, clean hands you can also use to start to mix and form things together. So once your mixture can kind of form a ball, it's going to be a crumble crust. So what that means is all the butter in there is going to be your additional moisture in your crust, but that won't help your crust form until we start baking it, which is why our mixture is still pretty crumbly as a whole. So when we get to this step, we're going to take half of our mixture. If you want, you can measure this out, or you can just eyeball it. And you'll take half of it and put it into your tray. If you're going to eyeball it, it's better to have slightly over half in here, because that's the base of your bar, rather than have too little at the base. And once you get it in here, you're just going to start pressing it down. If you need to, add a little bit more in. Don't want to leave the corners empty. It should be nice and even. Once you get your base nice and even, it should be about a 1/4 inch thick. You're going to take this and your leftovers in your bowl, and you're going to refrigerate these two together for about 20 minutes to make sure our butter is nice and cold before they go into the oven. We're going to take our jam and measure out 1 cup and put it all over the top. Start by spreading it nice and even across your bars. Once you get your pan all covered in jam, mine is a little special. I ran out of jam, so we got half strawberry and half raspberry. You'll take your leftover crumble and we'll just sprinkle it nice and even across the top. When you're done, it should be pretty well covered, in which you can just see little patches of jam here and there poking through. So you're going to put it in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. I would check on it around 20 minutes, just in case your oven bakes things uneven. You might need to rotate it for the last 5 to 10 minutes to get it nice and evenly cooked all around. Nice golden brown, crumbly, bumbly jam bars. Okay, once your bars are cooled and you got your baby strapped to your chest, you can cut your bars into some nice even squares. should cut pretty easily if we buttered everything good. Might be some sticky spots with the jam. First piece is always the trickiest to get out. Alright. It's your little crumbly bumbly jam bars. What do you think, Wild?